Hello, folks. It's Tuesday, the 21st of May, and we had quite a round of storms this morning and last night. Tornado warning and flash flooding. My neighborhood is okay. I haven't heard about the entire area. I bet there's some flooding, though. Cheers. You can still hear thunder, so weather is still in the area, but I was awakened twice last night. Really loud thunder and raining like sheets, literally like sheets. Hope everyone is okay, but like I've been saying, and I had a visitor yesterday. Nick stopped by, and we talked about it a little bit. I am, I guess, hyper aware, of things, and the weather makes, doesn't make me nervous. Tense is the word. When I hear the hail on the house, and it was hailed a couple times last night. This hail is big. It sounds like rocks. So anyway, that's how my day is starting. Is glad the house seems to be okay. This my neighborhood. If my neighborhood flooded, it would be interesting because I'm not. There's a hill up here, but then goes way down east of me. So it would seem like if I got flooded, other than a flash flood, everything east of me would have to be underwater. That would be tragic. So anyway, so what's going on? Well, thanks, folks. I haven't. I took a brief look at comments this morning, but not fully, and I will in a second. But thank you, folks, for some of the nice things that you say, and I'm just glad that more of you are experiencing something positive by connecting with me than not. And thank you for accepting me as I am, because I don't do requests. And even though you say you like something, I'm not going to do more of it because you said you like it. I'm going to do what the hell I feel like doing. That's the best. That's what works best. Cheers. So, what I have to show today, I might do a poll. I'm not so sure. I have 3 records that I received in the mail. See, this is why I don't do mail order, because I'm a bit OCD. If I do it once, then it's like do it again. So I recently did that order with Wayside, and sure enough, it got me to thinking, and I looked. Oh, someone sent this to me. I don't know why. Yeah, why are you mentioning me? I don't live in the Holland anyway. People send me, connect me to stuff, and it's nice. I don't know why this guy is connecting me, though. Anyway, let me first. Okay. See, I don't plan this at all. I just get on here in the morning and just start talking. So why does this guy send this to me? He's in Holland. Maybe I'm looking to see if maybe Jonas Bier is in the picture. Anyway, the music is kind of nice, isn't it? I don't know this artist right offhand, and I don't see anyone I recognize. Okay, let me stop. Stop, Dereck, stop. Hope that wasn't too annoying. Let's go to the comment. Oh, I'll do that. See how nothing is planned. I lost my train of thought. Almost with the comments. Let me finish what I started. So anyway, like I said, bug bit me, and so I ordered 3 more, and I said I've got to just stay cool. And sure enough, I always forget this time of year. You know, I get the records and I get my insurance. It's my yearly insurance statement and time to pay. That's, insurance sucks, and it's not fair. You know, it's not fair. I could go on. It's not fair, but boy, that's really hitting me. It basically takes a whole social security check to pay my insurance. So in essence, that's a month's income gone for basically nothing. But there's nothing I can do about it. So it just figures that, you know, I get that, and it kind of dims my happiness about ordering these records, because it's like it says, "See, told you." Anyway, I bought 3 records that I used to own originals of, and for the life of me, I cannot explain why I sold these records. Because one of them, when I played it, it was like, oh my God, I forgot all about this, and it just transported me. Very strange. When we're young and when we're in different phases of our lives, we don't really understand things. I was collecting, but didn't realize what I was doing, and got rid of records that I'm sorry I did. So here's one of them. I had an original of this, and why did I sell it? I liked it. It was a bit inscrutable for me. It was like it was a real challenge for me. I don't know why I sold it. I think it got damaged. But I picked this up yesterday through Wayside. Reissue of Zion, Electric Silence. Isn't that just a killer cover? And that's why I bought it when I saw it, when it came out in 1973 or 4. Okay. And this is real heady. I mean, this is like not world music, but it's these guys taking influences, really kind of arcane, really, because as I was reading the story in here, it's got their story in here, which I'm very glad to read. The guy was into mysticism and stuff like that, and this is really quite good. I have an original copy of their second album. Is it Silence? Time Machine. I have an original of that. So I've only played one side of this, but it's like, boy, it just took me right back. I remember this. Why did I sell this? I was out of my mind. I was actually, doing too many drugs at the time. I was. This is the one where I put it on, and it's like, when it got to the second track, it was like, holy shit, why did I ever sell this? It's one of those tracks that takes me away to another place totally. Embryo, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Finally got it back. Why did I ever sell it? God only knows. And I read a story where the person who did the cover art with the flame actually got injured doing that. They used the photo anyway. But this is Garden of Delights. What a label. Numbered. They do a bang-up job. Besides really good pressings of the records, they always include lots of information. This one comes with a 44-page book. I mean, it's fat. What they endeavor to do is show you everything about the band that they can find, including all of their records, all the labels. I like that. I like seeing it, all the different permutations of the records, posters. This is awesome. And Embryo is a real unique band. It would be I think it would be something to try to figure out who were the first Westerners to really incorporate world influences on their music. Embryo would be there in there. I have several of their albums. I had forgotten about this one. It's the second track. It sounds like it's from an ancient time. It's really cool. It's real cool. And this is also slightly jazzy, but in a slight kind of a sloppy way. It's like they do some Mahavishnu type of things on here, but not with that kind of precision, but with that aim. This is a really good album, and I'm so glad I got it back. I don't know why I sold it. This one, I don't think I could have sold it because my original copy was given to me by the Reese brothers, who I've talked about many times over the years. They gave me their copy, but it was damaged. It's like they had partied and it was out of the cover and it was real scratched. So I don't think I could sell that. I might have even given that away, but I finally picked up a reissue of Gilbert Artman's Lard Free. And this is another one where it was almost too much for me as a teenager because this is wild. And it's like, for example, when the guitar comes in for the first time, you can hardly tell it sounds like a guitar. And at first, because when I was a kid in my orientation, I was thinking, what are they doing? What's wrong here? But that's how wild and original it is. Now it's like, wow, this is just wow. It's just really wild and different. I've had this forever on CD. I'm looking at it over there because I picked it up because I do love this album. It does bring back memories of when I first started to hang out with Paul and Jerome Reese. And Paul was my stoner friend as well as music in my senior year of high school. I do remember when he first played this for me, how he was looking at me and wondering what I would think, because it was just weird. I love this. So glad to get this back. So glad to get these 3 records back in the collection. So happy. Embryo has another album, Steig Aus, that has Dreaming Girls on it. One of my favorite tracks of all time. Cheers, people. So the other thing that I can share is this morning I wake up and in the mail, Aaron Gum, my partner in DHX, has made a video for one of the new tracks that we did recently called Moom. We're submitting it to the summer concert series here in Omaha, where the big artist this year for the free concert is Roger Daltrey of The Who. A couple of years ago, I submitted a video and it got accepted and they played it in rotation before the big act. That year it was Elvis Costello. I don't know if I've applied. I don't know if they will accept my application this year, but I just got the video for the new track from Aaron this morning, and it's just a visualizer, it's like it's a visual. It's not scenes. It's this visual synthesizer that he recently got. That guy's something else. I love it, what he's done with it. I'll post it on the channel here eventually, probably this week, not today. But that was a real nice thing to wake up to. I've got Hank Aaron, not Hank Red. See? Those Freudian slips, we're getting old. Someone let me know in the comments that I had mentioned Frank Lloyd on Big, but he's not on there. He said Frank Wright. I lose my train of thought easily. let's just keep going. Whatever I see, it's early. It's early. And I don't mind the fact that this is what kind of shape I'm in. New subscriber, enjoy the channel. Glad that you like the. I'm glad that people are watching the Chameleons Mark Burgess performance. I love that. DJ Trish is here vibing with me, where she shares that once in a while she'll run into someone who knows her from YouTube and say how much they like her content, and it makes DJ Trish feel like she's making a positive impact. Yes, it's wonderful when we get that feedback. I've been getting feedback like that recently. Someone asked me, do I also have Shep's Magic of Juju? I do not. But I said to him, no, like I said, I am not concerned about collecting jazz. I don't have it. And yes, some very nice things. Very nice. Music as a tool to connect to the world around you and yourself is transcendent. And the willingness you have to share stories of your life alongside talking about the albums that you talk about is so, so, so cool. It's people like you that keep the love of music and even just art in general alive in more ways than silly algorithms can ever do. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Someone else says, like, recently I showed a Fred Simon album and Liz Stefani, and someone says, well, that was my instructor. Here we have another person saying, nice surprise to see Bill Dixon and Archie Shepp. Bill Dixon was this person's music teacher for a while in college, along with Milford Graves. Those would be some amazing people to learn from. They say, also, I'd be interested in hearing more about your relationship with Luigi Waits. Well, I'll talk a little bit about that right now and get that out of the way. Luigi was a giant figure in local music. After he died, they name the local stage of the Summer Arts Festival. The music stage is the Luigi Waits Festival, the Luigi Waits stage. He was a drummer as well as a teacher, and lovely man. I loved Luigi. He was one of the straights. My dad was a wild one. He did a lot of drugs and fucked everybody's wife or girlfriend. My dad was wild. Didn't have a good reputation in that sense. And one of the things I remember about Luigi as a child was Luigi was one of the musicians who would watch out for the kids when they would be having these wild ass jam sessions at our house and at Gene Rogers and other places. People would get out of pocket sometimes. They'd get so high and drunk, they'd start messing with the kids. And I can remember specifically one time, it was lovely. Luigi said, leave them kids alone. It was just very, very, very lovely. Very simply, somebody was high, about to do something stupid, and he just jumped in because everybody else is off their rocker. Everybody's just out of their heads. Luigi was fantastic. As a teacher, that's the only instrument I took lessons on. In band, in school, when they teach you an instrument, that's different. I learned horn that way. My dad tried to teach me, but I couldn't get it. So I learned French horn in school, but the only instrument I took lessons on was the drums with Luigi. And I only took a few lessons because Luigi told me, well, it's pretty obvious to me that you're really not interested in learning really anything. You just want to play. Because I wouldn't practice. He would give me lessons, write them out. I would barely practice them. But what he said is that you can play. I can see you can play. Let me just coach you on what you're doing already. And that's why I was able to start playing jazz like really early on in my drumming before I was really any good. But I learned how to do my job. And that's what he taught me to do as the drummer, is do your job first. Lay the tempo, keep the tempo, be the foundation, and then you take it from there. And he taught me how to do that. Love Luigi, and went to his funeral as well when he passed away. So when I ran into his daughter recently, that was fantastic. It was. Let's see if there's anything else. So I spoke to Richard, and I see that Richard is catching my videos pretty regular. So I see that you have Black Woman as well. Yeah, it's very raw. I did play it after we talked, and it went down better than the time before, but I couldn't get through a whole side, to be honest with you. It's raw. Also, in our exchanges, Richard, I'm not chatty. So like when we interact about things through email, like about the Stephen Wilson, trying to get that going, I feel like you're kind of a chatty guy and you like to start talking, and I just answer and I'm gone. So don't take it personally. It's like I'm just not chatty like that. In real life, I am. I bet you and I, Richard, could have a good time meeting each other. I think we probably could. So, is there anything down here that I don't know if I showed this? This is something I recently bought, and it's like it's getting it back in my collection. The Electric Flags soundtrack to the movie The Trip. I think I talked about this. There's just a couple tracks on this that are pretty cool, but I'm just glad I got it. It brings back memories. Yeah, I think I showed that. Okay, here's some 80s stuff. It sounds 80s, but it's pretty good. Mark Isham on trumpet on this. Group 87, A Career in Data Processing. Guitarist Peter Manu and Peter Van Hook are the guys mainly in this band. Some of the tracks on here are clunky and sound real dated. Others are real cool. They had some ideas that have stood the test of time. They still sound modern. It's a good album overall. Group 87. In the same poll, obviously, Group 87, Group Therapy. I pulled both of these, like, oh yeah, let me listen to these. This, for my taste, I'm keeping it, but this, for my taste, is terrible. 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 Okay? Anybody from this band see this? You guys were trying something, and it only worked a little bit. They try to be soulful, and it's out of their depth. But it's kind of a curiosity to me. I went ahead and listened to the whole album to try to figure out what the fuck's going on here. So it's stuff like this when I find it. I've had this album for years. I'm just keeping it, okay? But I hadn't played it in years, so I didn't remember what it sounded like. It's terrible for my taste. But it fits as part of that soul going into psychedelic sort of thing that was happening back in the day. All right, it's already over. See, I could just be talk, and I need to stop. And there's that dog. He's going to be barking this morning and driving me nuts. So let me put on some music. Okay, folks, take care. Talk to me.